Hello, everyone. It's Jason Harrell, Chief External Affairs Officer at FICPA, and welcome to Capitol Brief, which is everything you need to know about legislative session sine die edition. And I'm joined by Shelley Weir, our President and CEO, for our special end of session wrap up. So, Shelley, I'll just take a quick minute to catch everyone up. Just a few minutes ago, the legislature actually adjourned the 2026 session sine die. And as our members know, we've been communicating the past several weeks. As in the lead up to session, they have been trying to land the plane on the state budget. Those negotiations are ongoing. So yesterday, legislative leadership announced that they will actually sine die today and then return to the state capitol in about mid-April after Easter and Passover to have a standalone special session to complete the budget. But Shelley, what that means today is with the conclusion of the 2026 regular session, we can definitively communicate to our members what happened this session regarding our priorities. So I'll turn it over to you to begin the report.
Thanks, Jason. Well, I know it is the elephant in the room. It is the thing that everybody wants to have an update on, and that is the status of House Bill 607, which was the bill to eliminate the Florida Board of Accountancy. I am very pleased to share that the bill to eliminate the board did not pass this legislative session. So for the second time in 12 months, FICPA has successfully protected the Board of Accountancy from elimination and defended the CPA license against what has really been the most significant deregulation threat the profession has ever seen. And Jason, I know you will agree, while this was two separate sessions in 2025 and 2026, it has really been one giant session these last 12 months between the moment that that bill was filed in early April until today, and the amount of resources and lobbying work and just an unprecedented effort by the FICPA to be able to protect the board not once but twice in these 12 months. And I'm thrilled to be able to share that news today.
Absolutely, Shelley. It was a long journey, the kind of never-ending session, as we said. But really quickly, just for our members, let me summarize. The House Bill 607 was filed back in December. It quickly advanced through the first two committees in the House. And at that point, it advanced into its third committee. And it's that, Shelley, really where it stayed the rest of the legislative session. There was a concerted effort by the FICPA and other stakeholders. I really appreciate the legislature listening to our concerns. And at that point, the bill never proceeded forward in that third committee, and it never proceeded to the House floor or to the Senate. So, Shelley, with that, House Bill 607 did not pass the 2026 legislative session.
Yeah, and that's definitely a moment, excuse me. You can tell Jason and I are tired. We're fumbling for our words here. Our apologies, members, but it's really a moment for celebration. But that moment for celebration does not come without a cost. And unfortunately, especially for our students and aspiring CPAs here in Florida, that cost was our FICPA priority bills, Senate Bill 364 by Senator Gruters, our CPA in the Senate, and House Bill 333 by Omar Blanco did not pass. And it can be hard for those outside of the legislative profession and being in the walls of Tallahassee to really understand this, Jason. But I think it's important for everyone to understand that the policies found in those bills to expand licensure pathways, to significantly enhance the efficacy of the licensure process and streamline things to make it easier and faster for CPAs to get to work in Florida. Those policies were widely supported across both the House and the Senate this year. And although our bill passed the Senate unanimously, in fact, it was one of the fastest moving bills in the Senate, it was never heard in the House. But that does not mean that the policies were not supported. And I think it's also important for everyone to hear that I know this is heartbreaking news, especially for the students, but had the Board of Accountancy been eliminated, that would have significantly diminished the value of the CPA license, among other things. And so nothing else really matters at that point. And we had to protect the board at all costs.
And Shelley, the bill was filed and moved through the Senate unanimously. In the House, we were not able to get a hearing, but the legislative process is very difficult. It's hard to navigate. There are tons of competing interests every year. You know, in order to get on the agenda, it's very tough. It's hard to move. It takes time to educate. And we've been doing that part. And I'll just say, we had a really big competing interest going on in the House this year, and we had to put some attention there. But you know what, Shelley, we're going to stay at it. And that's part of the legislative process. You keep trying and you keep making your case, and we're going to be back in 2027 to get this thing done for our members in the future.
I'm excited for that moment. And Jason, just in conclusion today, I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment, and we're going to have a lot of tributes for him in the weeks and months ahead. But on our final Capitol brief of this regular session, to give a huge thank you to Senator Joe Gruters, our CPA, our staunchest ally, our fiercest advocate for the license in the walls of the Florida Capitol, especially over these last 12 months, but really in his entire 10 years of service here in Florida.
Absolutely. And Shelley, I'd also like to give a huge thank you to our House bill sponsor, Representative Omar Blanco. I mean, he's not a CPA, but boy, did he fight hard for the profession. You can attest every day I was in his office texting him every day. He really fought hard for our priorities. He really fought hard to get that bill moving, and it helped us in numerous ways. So we really, really thank him. I became a great friend and us and the profession. We're looking forward to continuing to work with him on this and other issues as we move into the future years, Shelley.
Absolutely. Omar is part of our family now, and we can't think of enough for everything that he did for us this year. And Jason, in closing, I would be remiss if I didn't state the obvious. The spotlight has been shining bright on Florida across the CPA profession ever since the first week of April. And with that spotlight comes a lot of pressure. And I know that you and I have felt it every single day. But that pressure is, in fact, a privilege. And it is our privilege to represent you, to advocate on behalf of the CPA profession each and every day. And I'm just honored to be in this role and look forward to continuing in the months and years ahead to work in the halls of Tallahassee to promote and protect the CPA license.
Shelley, it was a great honor to go through this fight with you and others. We appreciate everyone who stepped up and helped us really the past full calendar year on this issue. So just to level set with everyone what we're doing, the 2026 session has ended. We'll keep our members informed. We're going to stay vigilant, of course, as always, eyes always on the ball. As we move into, they're going to have a special session. We'll make sure we keep our members informed as information on those special sessions. We'll also summarize what's happened on other bills of interest during the 2026 regular session in the upcoming week. So Shelley, with that, I think I'll just say thank you all for being with us all session, and we'll keep you updated. We'll see you next time on Capitol Brief. Thanks.